So today I'm going to talk on why supply chain is critical for drug delivery. Now, all we know, everyone look at supply chain management as a backend function, but it's not. It's not a backend function. It's a backbone of a whole healthcare ecosystem. So it plays very crucial and critical role in whole healthcare ecosystem. Now, why? Because supply chain mainly ensures the safety, efficacy, and means whatever the integrated form of your drug medicine gets delivered to the end user. That assurance is being given by supply chain management. So it ensures the safety, then availability, and trust of end users into the medicines. No, so the mainly is right medicine at right time to the right person at right place. So all this assurance is being given by supply chain management. So it's not a backend function. It's the backbone of the whole healthcare system. Now, uh, I think I'm not going to share the presentation. I'll just continue with the talk because it's not getting shared.
Sure, sure, sir.
Now, what is supply chain? Yeah, yeah. So, what is supply chain management? Now, everyone knows the supply is a supply. Supply of what? In pharmaceutical segment, from the research, from the R&D to the delivery of medicine to the patient. So, supply chain works on a full range of drug life cycle in the pharma. Now, who all stakeholders, I mean, not everyone knows that's all suppliers of raw materials, APIs. Then once your manufacturing is done, your finished goods are getting travel from one place to another place to the end destination, and then it is being distributed to the pharmacies, then your distributors, pharmacies, and then to the patients. Now, whole this journey is being managed by the supply chain management. Why supply chain management is not just a function and it's a life-saving ecosystem because it 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 protects the quality it protects the quality of the your medicine because see not only the quality it protects its stock stock out situations, then it serves into the emergencies, it serves into the disruption your geopolitical disruptions. So in crucial times, supply management system plays very crucial role because once the disruption in this supply chain is there, then it completely affects on a whole healthcare system. So disruption is not affordable in the pharma into the supply chain. Now, the manufacturing, then warehousing, then distribution, then pharmacies, then patients. So all this journey, during this journey, this end-to-end visibility is very critical. Why this end-to-end visibility is critical, and which is actually required, but it is very critical because of in case of export import, your product travels from the destination, some other destination like from India. If you want to go to US, then it crosses many boundaries of many countries. So every country asks for their own regulations. So these regulations are uh, playing critical role into the end-to-end visibility. Then your geopolitical situations, then your environmental situations of various geographies. So due to all these things, end-to-end visibility is very critical in supply chain management, but which is very much crucial and which is in required. Then supply chain mainly you prevents your stockouts, then supports chronic and emergency situations when you are because of this supply chain, if it's a smooth in run, then your right truck at right time to the right person to at right place can be given. So the availability, a smooth supply chain availability is very much important into the pharmaceutical field. Then how this supply chain works? There are cold chain like 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. The temperature and humidity management is there. Now see how the supply chain in pharmaceutical field is different than your routine supply chain of other businesses or other goods. Here, a complete supply chain management function is being scrutinized, being traced, being tracked, and being regulated heavily. So, the main function of your supply chain system is to keep your medicine in integrated form and uh, prevents its safety and prevents its quality till it reaches to the patient. So this is main function, crucial function of the quality as a quality control by supply chain. Then it prevents the degradation of the medicines throughout this journey through various geo-environmental conditions. Then maintains drug potency because if your potency is getting degraded, then if it reaches in the degraded form to the patient, then it will of no use. So maintaining the drug potency and prevents prevention of its degradation to the cold chains and all. So this quality control functions of the supply chain system is very crucial. Then patient safety. Patient safety is again the very crucial part of the supply chain management that avoids expired and damaged goods because every supply chain management system has its own processes to get out the expired materials or damaged drugs from the system and prevent them to get into the delivery to the end users. And for that, track and trace systems are there, then IoT devices are there, then regulatory compliance should be there to give the patient safety through the supply chain management. So all like US drug safety US supply drug supply security act is there. So according to those guidelines, supply chain management has been established by various companies, and this regulatory compliance is cost heavy, but yes, the compliance should be there. The track and trace system should be there, and the damaged and expired products awareness should be there to ensure the patient safety through supply chain management. Then the another one big risk in supply chain management is your counterfeit risk. So for that, to mitigate this risk, there should be authentication of systems. There should be sterilization. Serialization means tracking of your medicines pack-wise should be there. The tracking should be pack-wise. Then it protects the patients and the brand's identity. So this counterfeit risk is another risk, and that can be mitigated by this authentication and serialization in tracking system. Then cost efficiency again. Why? See, to achieve all these goals, actually there is a huge cost into the supply chain management. But once we establish a smooth supply chain management system, and once we optimize the logistics, then reduce our wastages, then improve affordability. Affordability ultimately gets improved. Why? Because see, in case of vaccines, almost 40 to 50% vaccines are getting discarded when till it reaches to the destination of delivery. In case of medicines, every year there are 35 billion USDs revenue medicines are getting waste. So this is a huge. These are huge numbers, and that only can be minimized with the smooth supply chain establishment. And once it is established, its affordability is improved. So all this risk management in the supply chain, the pandemic and disruptions, this risk are huge, and that risk should be managed well through multi-sourcing. Like in previous talk, uh, that ma'am mentioned, the one point supply or one point sourcing is always a risky. So there should be more than two supply point or more than 2 point of sourcing should be there. So multi-sourcing is one of the way to mitigate this risk. Then agile response, whatever changes are happening around, that should be adopted fastly in our system, and accordingly our supply chain management system should be improved. So that agile response should be there in our management system. So accordingly, those risks can be mitigated. And for that, AI forecasting means the requirement or demand forecasting by AI systems can be done. Then IoT monitoring should be there for every package. So these IoTs gives us the real-time data of your package systems with respect to temperature, humidity, whatever the storage conditions are there. So this monitoring system should be there, and blockchain transparency should be there. Like these are the digital registers of your real-time data of your packaging systems. So all this can be implemented. This technology can be implemented into the system, and our wastage can be prevented, and affordability can be increased. Right? So technology can be used heavily, and yes, in near future, supply chain management will be driven on the technology only. Then last mile delivery, again, it's a very crucial point because a rural reach is very difficult in case of supplying of medicine into the remote areas. Then if look into the e-pharmacy growth, again the controlling of this system is become more critical because on e-pharmacy there are online orders and online delivery. So like in those deliveries, again, this endpoint delivery is become more crucial because whatever intended product is there, that product only to be delivered to the patients. If it is not, then it will be a wrong thing with the patient. So this e-pharmacy, according to this e-pharmacy growth, this endpoint or last mile mile delivery is become more crucial and critical. Then direct trade, because all these things will directly impact onto the patients. So this last mile delivery is more critical in supply chain management system. So this medicinal drone deliveries is being tried in many of the areas. So by drone, the remote area has been covered for the delivery of medicine in acute or emergency conditions. So these challenges can be mitigate or can be minimized. And then, so supply chain is mainly the main healthcare pillar. You can say it's not a back-end function; it's a backbone actually. Then digital future is essential in supply chain management. So whatever digital technologies are there, that should be implemented for the smooth run of the supply chain and the real-time data and the real-time tracing of throughout the journey of the medicine from the starting source to the end source, and the trust driven by delivery excellence. So all this makes supply chain management a main pillar and a backbone of the healthcare system. So yes, that's why the supply chain is not a side function; it's a main critical function of healthcare ecosystem. That's from my side. Thank you.